This is the after action report for the Old 18 Defense Pullpin Night Match. Before we get into it, if you like this video, be sure to drop a comment and subscribe. I only post after action reports from some of the most challenging shooting events across the nation. This course was a one-way, cross-country, 7-stage nighttime shooting competition that took place in the August Texas heat, which if you know anything about Texas in August, it feels a little bit like simply walking into Mordor. Night matches are really the only way to go in the Texas summer. There were two divisions, white light and night division. I ran in the night vision division and I stepped off 30 minutes past midnight. This course was just shy of 6 miles and it featured a ton of rocks, slight elevation changes, a muddy water obstacle at the end, and thankfully a near supermoon out. Like all OED events, this was a blind course. There were no stage previews or walkthroughs. They didn't even publish a round count. In my opinion, this is the way all run and gun events should be. Simply show up expecting the unexpected. This event has no resupply, so you are expected to carry everything you'll need to complete all of the shooting stages with you on course. For this course, I opted not to bring a chest rig. I went with just a kind of a heavier belt setup than I normally do and a pack. This was a very comfortable setup, and it was of course very conducive to the hot and humid environment that Texas is during the August heat. So let's jump into the loadout first. Overall, I did still bring my standard loadout of 7 rifle magazines and 9 pistol magazines. Starting off with the primary weapon system here, this is a Bravo Company 14.5-inch enhanced lightweight mid-length gas system. Of course, for night shooting, need a D-ball of some kind. This is a Phantom Hill CTF2 with a kiji. Then I also have an EOTech EXPS3 sitting on top of a Unity riser. The sling, I use a LBT padded sling. This is what I use on all of my rifles. Moving on to the helmet, this is a Team Wendy bump helmet with a Gen 3 PVS-14 white phosphorus Elbit XLSH tube, mounted up to a noise fighter's arm and a Wilcox G24. Mounted up top are a few Unity spark lights, and then off to the side is a rifle light, a Surefire Vampire light, which is my kind of temporary solution for not having a good IR pistol light. Moving on to the belt, this is a G-Code Contact Series belt with T-Rex Arms Mars carriers. I really like these carriers. These are probably my overall favorite, to be honest. I have an LBT IFAK as well as a Safariland 6300 series with a Glock 17 Gen 5 and an SRO mounted on top. Footwear is a super important item at an event like this. I myself am a minimalist boots enthusiast. I've been running and training with minimalist shoes for 5 to 6 years now. I really like these Zero Scramblers. If you're interested in trying these boots out, check the link in the description. Moving on to one of my favorite packs. This is an LBT 14-liter day pack. Attached here is a Sidewinder for nav and admin tasks. On the back top compartment, I keep protein, extra batteries, shears, lifesavers, and of course even more batteries. In the lower outer pocket, I keep a full field toolkit and a boo-boo kit. In the main compartment is the bulk of the weight, starting off with 3 liters of water in a source bladder, a couple of loose rifle mags, a pouch full of pistol magazines, and then a pretty clever solution for a rigid bandolier. This is a Defense Mechanisms bandolier velcroed to a rigid MOLLE panel. This helps keep the weight nicely distributed and sit more comfortably on my back. Before we jump into the stages, first let's go over what night vision is and what it is not. Night vision is not magic. It just allows you to see infrared light in a monochromatic setting. If a target is moving, you'll see it under night vision pretty quickly. Even at distance you'll see it, but you likely won't be able to make out very many details. However, if a target is static or even slightly concealed, it'll blend right in with almost no hope of actually identifying it. Of course, all of the targets here are static, which is challenging for setting up a night vision based competition. I've seen 2 methods for trying to address this issue: uplighting and reflective tape on the target stand. Both have their pros and cons. Uplighting immediately shows all of the targets to an NV user, but balloons out the target pretty significantly. However, it does still provide a center mass shot since it's the target that's illuminated. This match used reflective tape on target stands, which at first was kind of a cool idea because it does require competitors to scan the environment with their weapon-mounted light to find the target. But the light reflecting off the stand conceals the shape, size, and center mass of the majority of targets, making it significantly more difficult to actually get impacts. The video here is shot using a Psionics digital night vision color device, which with a supermoon out does very well in showing where the targets are and somewhat what their shape and size are, but that's not what I see through my analog Gen 3 PVS-14. In fact, I don't remember seeing any of the rifle targets, and I really only saw a few of the pistol targets. I did, however, see every single target stand. That was fairly obvious. Example, here you can see the target stand with the reflective tape activated by my infrared light. Target is somewhere above the reflection. If I remove all of the color to more closely simulate what I see, the shape and size of the target really is not visible. Did you even see the full-size silhouette that was pretty close to me? Here's a better shot through a Gen 3 analog PVS-14. The target is in pistol range, but what's the size and shape? Who knows? It's somewhere above that glowing target stand. All of that aside, this was still an incredible experience. I mean, what other events let random people onto a massive ranch with long guns and trot across miles of trails, all in complete darkness? On to the stages. Stage 1 was a short jog from the start line. Stage 1 was mostly pistol based with a fire and retreat to 3 different positions. Targets started close and gradually got pretty far away, especially for pistol under night vision. The final position had shooters engage the original pistol targets with rifle and close out the stage with 2 closer targets and 1 very far pistol target. Another short jog to the next stage. Stage 2 was very cool and incorporated a much longer leg of movement with a mix of pistol and rifle. It was mostly pistol. First position was pistol through very specific holes in a VTAC board, which was very challenging, trying to spot the targets through the tube, through the SRO, and then through a tiny port. The stage really exposed my poor IR solution for pistol shooting. Something like a Streamlight VIR would be a much better setup here. Quick Mozambique with pistol, and then moving on to another pistol position, this time 2 targets standing, kneeling, and prone. Aiming down the sights while prone with night vision is of course extremely awkward. Again, not really sure what I'm shooting at here. Stage 3 course of fire was 2 positions, mostly rifle, but before advancing to the next position you had to engage a fairly far pistol target with unsupported weak hand and unsupported strong hand. At this point I was almost out of pistol ammo. Moving on to stage 4. Stage 4, I actually opted to skip this stage since I was almost entirely out of pistol at this point. The rationale here was that since this event awards negative points for hitting par time and absolutely no points awarded for targets neutralized, I figured that I would save what I had left to try and pass a mostly rifle stage that had some pistol targets versus go completely red on pistol and just automatically DNF every stage remaining. So instead I followed around Alex. He's a fantastic shooter. Check him out on Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's not it? There's one far left? Yeah. That's not it. You shot this one, right? Yeah. Okay.
Stage 5, a mostly rifle stage with some pistol. Course of fire here was to advance to a tree, engage a pistol target, and then locate one of, I think, 3 or 4 rifle targets at distance, neutralize a rifle target, and then go back to the same pistol target, repeat until all rifle targets are neutralized. This pistol target is placed somewhat in the bush, and it blended in pretty well even though it was somewhat close. Definitely was engaging the target stance here for some of the time before I remembered, oh yeah, the targets are above the glowing mass. bit of a longer jog to stage 6. Stage 6 was my overall favorite stage for the night. This stage had the longest movement of all of the stages and was mostly rifle, fast and close in the thick bush. And then a long movement to the final stage, stage 7. Course of fire was 2 positions. First one was from a log here with rifle across the pond. Then the shooter had to advance into the pond close to this ladder that's out in the water and engage the same set of targets with pistol.
Just be on the ladder.
They did not have to climb the ladder to engage the pistol targets, but it had been a pretty long night by now, and so Alex did what he thought was best. and a short jog back to the start/finish line. Final thoughts. So predictably, my score was really not great. Skipping or DNFing a stage pretty much tanks your overall score, and my night vision pistol setup is very much lacking. I finished the course shortly after 5 a.m. It was very slow going in the night vision division, and several of the stages had very long wait times, which for me honestly was just fine, as this is such a rare opportunity to stay out all night with nods under amazing constellations that you can only see in rural skies. Like I mentioned before, it was a near supermoon out, so I really didn't even need nods for most of the course between stages. Getting to hike, camp, and shoot all at night really was a fantastic adventure. Something else that's new for OAD this year is community focus. After their events, they've been encouraging people to hang out and kind of get to know each other, which I think is super cool. At this event, they had tacos, cornhole, and drinks served up after the event. Of course, this was all at 5 and 6 a.m., and I kind of opted to go ahead and get an hour of sleep before the drive home. Special thanks to the match directors, range officers, and all the other staff. Night matches are very tiring. They're up for 2 nights back to back, and I, for one, really appreciate it. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and drop a comment. Send this video to your friends. If you're looking for a new shooting challenge, run and gun is the way. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More incoming. As always, run, lift, shoot.